A very good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother Beyond, and I will be your host today. When the COVID-19 hit our shores last year, and when the movement control order was announced, I'm sure for most of us, our emotions were riding very high. Are we safe? How's my family, my relative coping up? Are they safe? Do I still have a job? How long do I have until my saving runs dry? These are but a few concerns that many of us were experiencing. The Buddha says that we should always be in a state of equanimity. But how do we achieve equanimity when our emotions are running high? Well, today, our guest speaker, Brother Merlin, will be telling us on how we can be in this state of equanimity, or as they say in Pali, Upekkha. A brief introduction to our speaker today. Brother Merlin, also known as Brother Karunanda Choo, was a facilitator for youth class in Arya Buddhist Vihara. He was a committee member at Buddhist Gem Fellowship, Pahang Buddhist Association, and the past president of Kuantan Buddhist Association. Brother Merlin was a graduate from the Dharma Speaker Training Program, a novitiate program under the late Venerable K. Sri Dhammananda. He shares the Dharma in Montfort Boys Town, Methodist Boys School, Kuala Lumpur, and Methodist Girls School, Kuala Lumpur, and many other Buddhist centers in the Klang Valley. Currently, Brother Merlin Choo works as a life insurance agent with Hong Leong Assurance. Let us all put our hands together and welcome Brother Merlin. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Over to you, Brother Merlin.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Good morning, Brother Merlin. Good morning.
Morning. Great to see all of us after a long hiatus from COVID. So hopefully I'll be able to share a little bit about my understanding of what Upekkha is all about. And thank you, Brother Beyond. I have to struggle with your name again and again. All right, so Upekkha. I'll go to my share screen, then we continue from there. Okay. Anybody cannot see it? Or everybody can see it? Good. Okay. So Upekkha for me is a science. Hold on, I have to move this. Science of living, shifting through the paradigms of life. Because we are all shifting through our own paradigms of life, right? And for the poster, I understand Brother Beyond has been informed that the spelling of thought by should have been thought by. Well, I do agree, but somehow thought by is good. Because why? I'm not the Buddha. I cannot regurgitate what the Buddha shared with us all, right? But I can appreciate the thought of the Buddha more than 2,500 years ago. And today I share it with all of us. What I, Karunananda, understand Upekkha to be all about. So without further ado, let's continue. Hold on. Upekkha is part of the series of Dhamma talk that I've shared. We have shared on Metta, Karuna, Mudita. Today we have now come to Upekkha. Upekkha by itself is part of the Brahma Vihara, or broadly translated as the sublime attitudes of a person. But later I'll explain further what this is all about. Let's come to Upekkha first. But before we go into Upekkha, maybe it's time for us to reflect a little bit. Who or which are we? Which are we? Which is a choice? Who are we is a conditioning. So I'm going to share from this perspective, which are we? Have a look at this video. No doubt this is a fictional story, but there are a few characters which I have listed up here, and maybe others that I have not listed. You may find that there's some similarity in our own life currently. Okay, let's see.
Entry number 23, Mr. A. Hoggett with King.
This is just too crazy to believe.
Yes, and if all that isn't enough for you, now we have a stray dog on the field.
Look at
They're trying to round him up.
The dogs are going to give it a few tips on how to be a sheep pig, I think. Well, it's up to him now. Away to me, pig.
Ram you. To your breed, your fleece, your clan be true. Sheep be true, ram you.
What did you say?
It's not the end of the world, you know.
Amazing. Is he just going to stand there until his time runs out, I wonder?
Yeah.
Or could this be some sort of protest?
You know, Clive, maybe we should line up an interview with the sheep pig.
Or the sheep pig's trainer? He's a very lively sort of fellow by the looks of things.
Oh, heavens!
Shh, it's Babe.
Oh, beautifully done. I can't tell you how grateful I am to y'all. Now, for one last favor. If the three ladies with collars would kindly walk out of the ring, I'd be very much obliged.
So, who do you think, or which do you think we are? The farmer, a person who knows, and I wouldn't say that the farmer has faith, but he knows what's going to happen. A person who knows doesn't need faith already. Like the Buddha, he knows what enlightenment is all about, so he doesn't need faith. The dog as the pig a little bit here and there, or the pig. The pig is the guy who has to do the things and do it and learn from it. The judge came in and said, I have my own rules and regulations. You have to do it according to me. Which are we? Or the wife. Because you're my husband, the farmer, the husband, I have to support you, even though I don't believe what you do. Or the sheep, who has to do the work that the pig has asked the sheep to do. Or the broadcaster, commentator. Today, almost all of us, with this in hand, is a broadcaster and commentator. Or the friends. Look at the friends with the wife, with their eyes rolled up. It means I don't care, but I support you. That's friends. That's what friends are all about. How about the crowd? The crowd will go according to how the wind blows, where we go, right? So, which are we? I would say which, not who. Who is a conditioning, which is a choice. We have a choice of who we want to be. Resting on this, I'm going to move on to the next. Hopefully from this, when we move on to the next, you get to see a little bit why I begin from this point, okay? What is going on in their minds? Have a look.
Hey there.
So over here, I'd like to invite all of us to share a little bit of what you got from these two video alone. Maybe we can unmute and see if there's anyone who wants to share their ideas. Anyone? What have you got?
Brother Merlin.
Yes.
Penny here.
Yeah.
For the second video, I would think that I think the conditions, the society, I mean they were born into that condition, and is to them is normal. For survival, they need to behave like that. So it's, you can say it's their behavior also, just like the Chinese, when China opened, that time when all the Chinese came out to the world, nobody liked them. You see, because of their behavior, their you know, I would say is a conditions, you know, they were born into that type of condition, and it's not whether kiasu or kiasi, is for survival. So I would think so. Like slowly now you can see the Chinese is behaving like they come out already. They see other people, how other people behave. Then slowly they are not so, you know, they don't speak on, at least they don't simply speaking already. They improve, and you know, you can see that when they sit down, they don't take out their shoes anymore. Yeah, so it's a conditions, they were born into that, and to them that this is normal. Even like India, this is normal. So I wouldn't think that is kiasu or kiasi, is just a survival for them lah, in that type of society.
That's a very good observation.
Yeah.
And then relate back to the first video, from which position or vantage point are we looking down at this second video?
The first video.
The farmer, the pig, the wife, the friend, the judge, the commentator.
No, I personally would think that I personally would think that I am the wife, law.
Okay. Well, the wife is, I'm supporting this kind of behavior. I understand. Yeah. I can appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't understand. I mean, from the, maybe from the family background, you know, yeah. So sometimes it's out of no choice. We need to, you know, there's a line, a very thin line for you to make a decision. So just like I heard one, you know, the Bante talk. You know, there's a thin line whether you are, you know, too attached, or you let go. As a mother, you do like attached, people say that you are attachment. If you let go, people say, hey, why you never take care of your kids like that? You let them run around like that. See? So there's a thin line whether you are clinging here or clinging there. So sometimes because of the family, you know, we don't know, you know. So because of the family, we have to cling to one side.
Yes, understood.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody else want to share their thoughts and their ideas, what they got from these two videos?
But I'm not sure, Brother Merlin. As a Buddhist, they say, but husband and wife is an entity. Is it whatever? But I mean, maybe from Buddhism point of view, this is wrong lah, because whatever you do is a single entity that you bear the karma of what you what. But I read somewhere that once you married a couple, you know, husband and wife, you are an entity and you need to do things, I mean, together, and you know, kiam chair. That's why you have to be with him.
All right.
So I'm not sure
Okay.
it's true or not. So
Okay.
yeah. So because
So-
of family, sometimes we need to cling somewhere that is not to what I mean to practice Buddhism as a Buddhist.
Can. So, Sister Penny, thank you for sharing. Can I come back to this here? Right now, it is the same situation. Rush hour, India, Bangladesh, Japan, China. All of them has got one intention: from point A to point B as soon as possible. Right? From that kind of setting, that kind of environment, you're very right, Sister Penny. We are all conditioned to behave like that. And then some of us accept that conditioning as ourselves, as part of us. And then some of them, like you're saying, husband and wife, yes, husband and wife, you have your affinity karma. You have this karma coming together, then you have your own collective karma there. Like India people have their collective karma. If you go to Japan, rush hour, they push you in. China today has moved on from that video already. No longer is that relevant to China. But somehow it has already moved on. Meaning what? We are able to move on. In all of this setting, three things are very prevalent. There's greed, there's hatred, and there's delusion. Kiasi Kiasu is our language here of these three things. So I'm going to move on to the next video. Hopefully, this next video will share what it is all about. Greed, dosa, loba, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, delusion. All right, I'm not going to go delve into this because today this is not the topic, but just to highlight this thing. This one. What delusion looks like? And if you want to know what is a hungry ghost looking like, this is the one.
我唔制啊！食魚翅啊！點解會冇晒魚翅啫？我都唔明白冇晒魚翅，我唔制，我要食魚翅，我要食魚翅啊！點解會冇晒魚翅啫？咁多魚，點會冇晒魚翅啫？你話俾我聽，點啲魚翅喺晒邊度？你咪收埋晒，話俾我知啊！我要食係啊！我要食魚翅，我特登嚟食魚翅㗎！我要食魚翅啊！我要食魚翅，今次先啲人食晒，唔留俾人食，要俾我，我要食魚翅，我特登嚟食魚翅㗎！我要食魚翅，我唔制啊！我要食魚翅啊！我要食魚翅啊！我要食魚翅啊！今次先啲人食晒，唔留俾我，我可能咁多魚翅啊！我要食魚翅啊！我要食魚翅啊！做乜嘢你？做咩你？做咩？
Okay. All right. So that this video highlights the whole thing, all three together very clearly. Delusion, something I must have. 邊個食細氣，冇留返俾我。Hatred and greed all roll into one. You can see this? Do you see this? So why I'm sharing this one? It's a delusion that we have for ourselves. Now, on this three video, we're going to move on to the definition of Upekkha, as shared to me by Venerable Punaji. I hope Venerable Punaji will share, give you some light why I share all these things. All right.
When we speak of metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha, we are looking at the same state of mind from different angles. And what is upekkha? When the mind is calm and tranquil, the mind is not centered on what is going on outside. Whatever is going on outside does not disturb the mind. Gain and loss, fame and ill fame, praise and blame, pleasure and pain. These are the 8 vicissitudes of life. The changing vicissitudes of life. When these vicissitudes change, the mind is not disturbed, because the mind is focused within, not outside. That is the perfect tranquility of mind. That perfect tranquility of mind means the mind is focused within, not looking for pleasure outside, not looking for happiness outside. That is the meaning of Upekkha.
Okay, hope you understand what it means. Upekkha, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. It's looking at the same thing from different angles. Just now, that lady, she has greed, hatred, delusion. It's all rolled into one, also looking from different angles. Notice? And Venerable Punaji stated very clearly, whatever is going on outside does not disturb us on the inside. Go back to the first video, the second video. In the train station, everybody is rushing. Change that train station to COVID. Everybody is rushing for the vaccines. Everybody is rushing. And then you're saying, because of our conditioning and everything, we are rushing here. We want to have the medication for ourselves. So much so, some even went for ivermectin and all sorts of medication. What went in here? What's happening here? Are we a little bit like the lady who asked for Yichi? Or are we behaving like the farmer who knows what's going to happen? He doesn't need faith. He knows what's going to happen. It's only the people around and the dog who wants to be the mentor and mentor people around here and there, saying all sorts of things. Especially now we are online. Almost every Tom, Dick, and Harry is now a teacher online. So where are we? Where are we heading towards? And what's happening in here relative to what's happening outside? And then the next one is the channels. Upekkha has its channels. It has the channels from, I need to move this, sights, sounds, smells, taste, touch, and thoughts. All these 6, they are our sensory perceptions. And then these are also the channels where we experience Upekkha. Sights we like to see, we don't like to see, or doesn't matter. Sounds we like to hear, sounds we don't like to hear, or doesn't matter. Or smells we like to smell, or don't like to smell, or doesn't matter, doesn't bother me at all. Or taste, something you like to eat. Some people like durian, some people don't. And then some people, it doesn't matter. Or tactile, touch, sensations, and thoughts. Thoughts that we like to think about. Think again and again and again. And then thoughts we like to hinder away, stay away from thinking. Or thoughts that doesn't matter, happen or not happen. These are all the 6 channels where we experience Upekkha. And mind you, Upekkha is also 4 sides of the Brahma Vihara, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. So it's the same thing from different angles, all experienced through these 6 senses, right? Hopefully I can come across as understood. Then Venerable Muniji also said about, through these 6 senses, we experience gain and loss, praise and blame, fame, disgrace, pleasure and pain. We do not experience all these things without anything. We have to experience it from our 6 senses. Right? Getting this in place, let's move on. And then all that we want, all that we hold tight as being very valuable for ourselves, even empires, emperors, businesses, personalities, successes will come and go, will fail. This is the latest video about Toshiba. Maybe I just share it in a short one minute plus.
ありがとうございました。
昼夜ずっとテレビを出荷し続けました。開発から、量産にちょうど移行する時期です。いい方向に持っていこうというふうに日々、研究開発を進めているところです。
I purposely want to show this video. Why? Because COVID has brought a lot of havoc to many people's lives. Many people, many businesses has turned topsy-turvy. Many will have to learn to work from home. Some of us, I see most of our faces are beyond 40. Do we have anyone below 40? Okay, we still have some. So most of us can be considered old ships, hard to change direction, hard to change ways of doing things, right? So a lot of things is going on within us. I myself has to face a change from the way I used to go out and meet clients, now have to do online sales. How many of us have to change? Even our Dharma speaking, a little bit awkward in the beginning, but now it's beginning to get more normal, the norm. Even after COVID, this will be the norm. Our children will study from home. So a lot of changes has happened, but then we has the ability to move forward. But then are we moving forward? How do we move forward? Are we moving forward with a calm, happy mind, or are we moving forward with challenges? All right. So listen to that. Even giants fall. We were once successful. We were one big guy, but we will fall. It's certainty. But through all these things, how do we live a life with managing all these changes in life? Now, Upekkha is about managing our craving and attachment. We are about being not attached. So as an enemy of Upekkha, we are not attached. We are equilibrium. But then there's also the near problem of Upekkha, which is I couldn't care less. So there are many times when we talk to our young people, they say, I don't have craving, I don't have attachment, but what do they have? Indifference. You notice? For us also the same. There are certain things we couldn't care less. It's indifferent. This is the one thing that will kill us. Craving attachment we can manage. We know we are doing something towards that. All right? I'm not going for this one. Okay. This is what it is meant. Who moved my karma? I think you guys know where I got this from. Is who moved my cheese? Right? Right. Who moved my karma? Who are we in this pandemic? Are we the guy who sits around, sniff, like the sniff? He will anticipate change and he move on in life? Or are we, oh, hold on, I get different. Okay. Are we sniff, the guy who anticipate change and move very fast? Or are we scurry, who just move along and adapt, doesn't care, don't think too much, just adapt, move on? Or ham, I am ham, many times. All right. Ham is a person who denies change. I don't want to change. I want things to remain where it is. I did so many marriages. I want my marriage to come back to me. Ham. Or he learns to adapt in time and see when they see something better, or they are hesitant at first, but most of us are here also. Yeah, hesitant, but we are able to open our mind and see something new and move on. How many of us can relate to this? Anyone want to share? Anyone want to share? No one? If nobody, we'll move on. Are you okay with that?
I can share.
Yeah, please.
I think I'm most related to the horse. A bit fearful of change, but then open-minded to see whatever, if there's any opportunities. I think most of what we are meant to become is the sniff. I think most of people wants to become a sniff, but I think there is a lot of responsibility and baggage that always stop us from being the sniff.
Anybody else want to share anything? You
Brother
have
Merlin,
any? Yeah.
may I ask, are there differences between the sniff and the hawks?
Sniff and hawk. Sniff, they are very good sniffers. They just go out, smell, they do already. Hawk, I have big brain, I have big mind. I will sit down and think it over, and I am moving. Better than ham, who's not moving, I can move. But sniff, don't think. Just go out, jalan. Scurry, lagi teruk. Just find other jalan, masuk. He don't even smell. He just jalan saja.
But the sniff have anticipated change early, so and update the corporate versions. So maybe what he lack is the execution part.
Okay. My take on all this came from, of course, marketing guru and all those things. My take on this is Upekkha. For us, we are behaving in this kind of character imagery, that character, that behavior. But then under Upekkha, what is happening in us? Anybody?
No, but sorry, Penny again.
Mm.
But I would think so. If you in a corporate world, the scurry will be you have to be a scurry, okay? Because the corporate itself, the environment itself will push you to be that. If not, you will be left out. Whether you want to quickly scurry into action and adapt to it, and follow, and if not, you will be left out because the corporate world, they don't wait for you.
I agree.
Yeah, the condition a lot of times is because of the condition of it. A lot of times is you don't have a choice in that corporate world. Whether you like it or not, you have to quickly adapt and then you take into action, or else you will be left out. So if you are in a China Upekkha company, you can still think, I want to do a very different environment will create. I will the end result will be whether you are Smith or your scurry or you're the hams. So
hams are those who are unwilling to change.
Yeah, like Brother Beyond, maybe he is the boss. He can nobody push him to be one of it, so he can choose to be any one of it. But if you are working in a corporate world, the corporate itself will push you to become one of it, and you don't have a chance to be hams. If you want to be hams, you will be left out. The corporate will kick you out.
Not true. Since I'm in insurance line, I deal with a lot of bosses. Some are unwilling to change, especially during this COVID scenario and pandemic environment. Many are unwilling to change. When they are unwilling to change, they are Upekkha, they are no longer equilibrium. They no longer have a sense of being open. They no longer have an inner happiness. I went through that period also. Same. Right, a few maybe late last year, I had a very bad bout of stress also. Same. I also went through that. Yes, I've been doing something successfully for many years, and for COVID to come and demand that I change, it's a paradigm shift for me, and it's shifting us along. And then my next video will share. Oh, sorry, I've yet to come to that video. This one is about we are all changing from body, the perspective of the body, the consciousness of the body, the emotional changes, the mind changes, the ideas of the day. Remember, we used to have cassette players, from cassette to CDs, from DVDs to CDs, from CDs to pen drive. Now, we don't even have all this drive, it's all cloud, right? And then Dhamma, universal principles. Universal principles, the Buddhists have a whole set of universal principles. For marketing people, we have a totally different set of principles. You notice, in the old days, it's newspapers where we get our news. Later on, we got it from our internet. Now, we've got it from our handset. Even TV Tiger is no longer on TV, it's already on Facebook. Things have been changing. We have been changing along. We experience all these things through these 4 spheres of consciousness. But through these 4 spheres of consciousness, we evolve. Notice how we would dress up then. These were the Angmola, but Chinese also lebih kurang only. Or even Malays for that matter. think about the emotions and the thoughts that went into all this design. Even the music of the day, it reflects the thought, the thinking process of those people of those times. Rupa, the Kaya Nupasana, Vedana Nupasana, what's the emotion then? Chitta Nupasana. What were the thought processes? Then in the 1800s, pink clothes, dark clothes. Methodology changed. Maybe you get my point. We have been shifting along, we have been moving along all through the centuries. Our design, our ways of behavior, our intentions, our thoughts, methodologies, ideas change along the way. But through all these changes, what's happening here? Our latest one is COVID. It came, it forces a change here. What's moving along? I think we have enough of that. And then I'm going to show you this one. This was yesterday's history, tomorrow a mystery. Today is a gift. Lucky that we are no longer living in that period. Imagine if we were there. That was beautiful. We're lucky we're no longer there. We have moved on. Why have we moved on? We have moved on because of this. It's unsatisfactory. That kind of environment is unsatisfactory. We move on. When we move on, things are transient. Nothing is permanent. Everything is unchanging. Understanding this, we can change along. And nothing is personal. These are all part of Upekkha. If we can understand, it's unsatisfactory, it's not permanent, it's not personal. Even the Vietnam story is not personal. It was the environment of the day. Like Sister Penny rightly said, it's the environment of the day. They were rushing for the trains. That's the environment. That's what the accepted norm is. But what is the accepted norm? This is us today. It has become an accepted norm. Viruses come and go, come and go, come and go. People die, people live. But human beings survive each and every single one of these pandemics. But in each and every single one of these pandemics, paradigm change. These were only pandemics through the ages, but war. We went through all these wars. Japanese occupation, right? COVID, 3.2, Mexico, smallpox, AIDS. What I just want to share with this video is that as a human race, we evolve. And all these things come and go. And we evolve out of volition. Our design. We intend to evolve, or its evolution. Or even revolution, which is war. Or the worst one is conditioning, where we Buddhists are most concerned about. How we condition ourselves. Right? Condition change. Did we change along? Now Teta with robots. All right. So are we changing? Are we evolving by volition, evolution, revolution, or conditioning? Of course, for Buddhists, we would prefer conditioning. We change our condition, so we change our environment. But there's one thing I want us to understand. Adopted norms are a result of centuries of conditioning. Listen to this white lady speaking about racism.
White folks are all racist. We don't understand where it comes from. You can't cure it if you don't recognize that you have it. We all are infected with racism. We are taught to be racist in the schools. And here's just one example. Will you hold this up here, please? How many of you have ever seen a map that looked like this before? How many of you have ever seen this map?
Seen that map.
Yeah. Isn't this the map that you use K through 16 in the United States of America? Now, folks, look at this map. According to your social studies teacher, what is the equator?
Right
An imaginary line where?
Yeah.
Around the center of the earth. Then if this map is correct, then the equator must be here, and Chicago has a tropical climate. Now, folks, this is the map that we use in the schools. Look where the United States is, in the middle of the world, right? Now, here's the USSR, which is no more, of course, Mongolia, China, Africa, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Now, look over here. USSR, Mongolia, China, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Two Indias here. We have two Indias. Did you know that? Now, people, this is a flat-out lie. Look at the size of Greenland and the size of South America. According to your social studies teachers, what were continents? Largest land masses on the face of the earth, right? Now, do you know the continents? Africa, Asia, Australia, Antarctica, Europe, North America, and South America. Did I say Greenland? Well, Greenland isn't a continent, but it's a huge landmass according to this map, right? The map is a flat-out lie, people. If you read the legend on the map, here it says, in fact, South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland. Now, look at this map. The equator on this map is down here. All the white countries are larger than they should be, and all the countries of people of color are smaller than they should be. This is a visual image that teaches children a lie. In order to make this map anywhere near accurate, you have to take this over here and put it here like this. Now, well, can somebody hold that? Can you hold that down there, somebody? Are you a somebody?
Sally is a somebody.
Okay,
yeah.
Sally's a somebody. There. Now, take a look at the difference. Does that give you a different visual image of the importance of the United States? People, the way you use things like this, teaching aids like this, are what make you and I racist. We were taught that this is the way the world looks. It's a flat-out lie. How could a parent not be a racist? How could a white parent not be a racist in a situation in which we do that? I am a racist. I was born into a racist society. I was taught how to be a racist at birth. I know how to be a racist. I hate it. I hate the fact that when I read an article in the paper about a crime, I immediately think, God, please don't let it have been a black person who did it. Because immediately I will get a call from somebody saying, well, one of your people did it again. I'm a racist. I was infected with racism at birth. I want to get over it. It is going to take me the rest of my life to get over it, but I can do it. But I have to choose to do it. White folks are all racist. We don't understand.
Bingo. I have to choose to do it. The words of a wise lady. We have all been conditioned. And studying Buddhism, we are reconditioning ourselves. And this is where Upekkha comes in. There are a lot of adopted norms that we have. Like Penny says, the train is a norm that they accepted. It's an accepted norm. We are being lied to. But that norm arises out of three things: greed, hatred, delusion. And greed, hatred, delusion has the look of a hungry ghost, the lady who throws a tantrum because of a bowl of shark fin soup. If that is the kind of living we are having, don't talk about Upekkha. We don't have Upekkha. This lady has the guts to talk to the white people that your maths are wrong, that we have to relook at our own norms, and then we work on our own conditioning, how to change and move forward. And this one, we resist change. Almost all of us are hams. Listen to this.
Imperial, to taste the soup for the very first time.
Wow, right. King's food, shark fin.
Shark fin chef Chang Chi Kwan doesn't speak English, but the maitre d' David is here to help me out.
So in there's chicken stock.
Yes, the old pan.
A Chinese ham. Got this amazing broth that's been cooking now for sort of 8 to 10 hours. And it's flavoured with ham. And you just darken it with some soy sauce. But it's got sort of salty, slightly smoked flavour to it.
The shark fins have been steamed, soaked and washed for days, and then left to infuse in a basic chicken stock until the texture is gelatinous.
This one is the...
19,000. The shark fin this way.
£90 for that?
Yes.
Jesus. And this one?
This one, 3,200 shark fin.
70 quid. So 90 quid, £70.
So quality of fin is judged by size and thickness. The broth is added to a heated clay pot, and once boiling, the fin goes in.
Right. And that's it? Finished?
As you'd expect, I've gone for the most expensive bowl.
So, traditional garnish, a little bit of red wine vinegar, some bamboo shoots, and some coriander. So the idea is to peel back the fin. What does it taste of? Real proper shark fin soup. I mean, it's really... really bizarre. I mean, really bizarre. Because it actually tastes of nothing. Almost like sort of plain glass noodles. The broth's delicious. Pretty good. But it could have anything in there. It could have chicken, sweet corn, it could have duck in there. It's just pork belly. So it's almost like the one item that's spoiling that is the shark fin.
I want to ask the customers why they're prepared to spend so much money on something that, to me, tastes of nothing.
No, it's important.
Relax.
No,
relax.
It's VIP.
I wanted to go and ask that table of VIP guests that have spent £90 each on a bowl of soup, and they're denying me access into the dining room. Have you got a piece of paper, please? A pen and piece of paper.
The paper?
Excellent.
Excuse. Why do you enjoy eating shark fin soup?
It's delicious.
It's delicious,
Yeah.
which is enough. Does it ever concern you the amount of sharks that we use and abuse in terms of the depleted stocks?
Never. We never understand about that. Yeah. Never know.
And it's now the most expensive soup in the world.
Yeah.
Because of the price. Would it stop you eating it or not?
No. We still eat that. Not very often, but sometimes. Yeah.
Special occasion.
Yeah, special occasion.
Yeah. Mother's birthday. Happy birthday.
Listen to that. Special occasion. Would you consider changing? No, I won't change. And we took pride in that. And we want to live in Upekkha, in Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. In this setting, when we are unwilling to move on, we want to stay where we are. Nothing to talk about. But what does
Imperial.
What does a life with Upekkha feels like? Have a look. I think I've shown this one before. We just revisit.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวัน
Being taken for granted. It's expected. Being frowned upon.
เขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลย ไม่ได้รวยขึ้น ไม่ได้ออกทีวี ไม่มีใครรู้จัก ไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้น เพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
And in your life, what is that you desire most? He gets nothing. He won't get richer. But he is emotionally more happy. That, by definition, my brothers and sisters, is Upekkha. I will invite you to challenge me after this. Let's have a look at the next. This one is Batu Cave. This doctor was a gangster. He was jailed for 6 years. But then, this happened to him.
Stuck at the bottom, left behind, and looked down upon. Nobody knows how that feels better than I do. So when a second chance came during my lowest point, I took it. My path to redemption was a difficult climb. But thanks to some helping hands along the way, I managed to turn my life around. These days, instead of using my strength to bring trouble, I use it to bring hope. Life may be a journey of many downs. But when we do find the strength to get back up, the destination will always be worth it. My name is Dr. Murali Arumugam, and this is my...
Dr. Murali Arumugam. Since Deepavali is just around the corner, I decided to share this one. But his story reminds me of the words of Venerable Punnaji. How many of us will agree with me that this is Karuna? How many of us will agree this is Metta? How many of us would agree this is Mudita? And this is Upekkha. He made a change in his life. But the happiness that he shared out, more important is the change in his own life. From a gangster to a doctor, to someone who helps people. In that transformation, a paradigm shift of his life, he changed. Our life, we are going through a lot of paradigm shift. Have we changed? Are we changing? Are we willing to change? Or are we like the sharp fin people? Special occasion, I still won't change. This is how Upekkha is being defined by the actor in the Babe picture. Listen to him.
So I was offered this film called Babe about a pig, and I got the script and I leafed through it, and my character had about 16 lines. So I was going to turn it down. And I visited a friend of mine in Connecticut, and he said, no, man, it's a free trip to Australia. And listen, if the picture fails, it's the pig's fault. You're just a supporter. So I thought, yeah, it's not too bad, no risk. So I went to do this film. I would go get made up every day. I would not pay attention to the look. I would be talking to the makeup lady because makeup ladies know every story that's going on. We got to the end of the film. It's the day of the sheep herding contest. So the next shot is I have to turn to the pig and congratulate the pig. And I look up to say the line, and I see my reflection in the lens. And what I see is not me. I see this older man who reminds me a great deal of my father. And I have to say,
that'll do, pig. That'll do.
But what I hear in my head is, that'll do, Jamie. That'll do. Because this is the first time in my life that I've actually showed up on a set without my evaluations and my judgments and beating myself up and then projecting it outside and making a hash out of everything. I really showed up and said, look, no matter what happens to this little Australian film, I'm going to be here every day and I'm going to do the best that I can. And it works out. And my life changed, and I owe it to a pig. Hi, my name is Jamie Cromwell, and that's my best story ever.
That, brothers and sisters, is what Upekkha is all about. It's easy for us to visualize Metta, Karuna. Mudita, a little bit difficult. Upekkha, lagi susah. But for me, my understanding of this Brahma Vihara, Upekkha is when I show up without my evaluation, judgment, beating myself up, rejecting it outside. No judgment. That's why I started with the babe video clip in the beginning. There's the judge, there's the crowd, there's the family, there's a friend. Everybody has their own point of view, all being justified, all being correct. Even the commentators was joking, sneering. And then just now the video of the guy who was being taken advantage of almost every other day, but he was happy. In the end, it only means is we are going through changes in our lives. Every single stage of it is a paradigm shift. Some of them we have to meet with conditioning that we have been brainwashed so many years, and our conditions have conditioned us to believe in those things as being true. But then we don't know which is right, which is wrong yet. We are still learning. There's only one thing we can do. Show up no matter what happens. I'm going to do the best that I can. And that will do. That will do. That to me is Upekkha. I finished my sharing on this. Now I'm open for discussion. Anyone with any idea? I realize my sharing is not very much into like a typical reverend giving a sharing of Dharma in the way that they, but more about how we can apply it in our life as spirit. Because I've attended too many Dharma talks. Many of them are here. I want it here. I want it experiential learning. I live it through. Living Dhamma, not learning Dhamma. So, Upekkha, that will do. We are open. John?
Yeah, I'm here. All right. Thank you, Brother Merlin. I'm, you don't have to worry. I think your talk was really touched our hearts, my heart especially. We are open to any questions from the audience. Anyone who wants to, any questions or any
maybe more towards share what they think Upekkha is after having gone through this session for them, and how Upekkha can change their life. Upekkha is changing me. When I refused to change a few months ago, and I avoided COVID a lot because last month I lost 4 relatives. So don't want to talk too much about sad ideas or else start crying again, right? A nephew, a sister-in-law, a cousin, 2 cousins. Then my wife lost her aunt also, all to, some to COVID, some not. But then avoid those. Just move on. It's a paradigm shift. I'm shifting through. Are you?
Anyone want to share? Sister Tina?
Speechless for a while. With this pandemic thing going on, learn a lot of things. You learn to go back to basics. in the rush of life, we have forgotten a lot of things, a lot of those soft issues. So this pandemic has really brought the family together. The bonding is better, and you discover things about yourself that you didn't know you have, which is good also. So, and I feel the fact that we are all still around here, there is protection. If we do it right, the Dharma will protect. Common sense also. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Yeah, and to accept the situation as it is right now and just move on. Life goes on. It's slowly opening up. We cannot be so paranoid. We still have to go out. Just be careful.
Sadhu.
This morning, oh, quite heavy now, my heart. This open at first, actually every Sunday morning I have my table tennis session. So I was telling my hubby, hey, I have Dharma talk, I need to attend. Huh? Same title again, what's news? So luckily I stay back and listen. Really, it's a different type of really the video really make me think again, because you know, sometimes don't know how to say, but we really need to carry like say lah, we really need to carry out how to say that the you know, sometimes I also don't know how to say. Really speechless this morning.
when you can't say it, you're experiencing it like the guy who actually felt Upekkha in his life.
Because all this one, I'm thinking of, you know, when I went to India the very first time, I was asking myself, why Buddha never come and clean up the whole India for them? Why it's so dirty? Why? You know, yeah. And then now, even I met my China relative the first time, I feel so, I telling them that I'm not, something like, I told them, apart from my blood, I'm the same as y'all, but nothing is the same. I'm a Malaysian, I'm not a Chinese. I try to, you know, cut a line between them and me, you see, because I see them, why they behave like that, nothing the same like, like my mother and my father. Okay, today after the talk, I will think it over. My past action, all this is really wrong.
You better make more scones lah.
Thanks for sharing. Brother Chair, anything you want to share from your side?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about this COVID thing, this kind of situation, it is all conditions. What we are experiencing, what we see, and all that. This kind of situation actually brings out the best of some people. You know, they are trying to help and all that, but it also shows some other people, also the worst of some other people. So all the while we have been having these very good conditions, and as such we are able to live the way last time which we live, the way we behave and all that. But when the situation changes, the inherent nature of each and every one of us, I think, shows up very clearly. And yeah, I think this is an eye-opener for every one of us.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I was hoping my way of sharing Dharma is more towards if I can touch a heart, 1 or 2 hearts through this sharing, I've done my part.
You've touched
Yes.
many hearts.
Thank you. But then another thing is, I have a lot more videos in this folder alone. But I say, being all prepared is not good. But main thing is, understand what Upekkha is all about. It's not Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. It's not 4 separate things. It's 4 in 1, all different angles. And we are looking at it. Dr. Murali Arumugam is a typical environment that he embodies all 4 there. The guy who felt Upekkha in his life, it's there. We are doing the same thing. But a lot of times, we have been focused on Metta, 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 or Karuna, Karuna, Karuna. And I'm hoping with this sharing, our hearts are touched a little bit, that we come nearer and nearer to this 4 things. This is called the abode of higher blessings. The way of functioning and the way of behaving. Anchor our life from that position. Move on. Anybody else want to share? Brother Lo, you've been quiet. Or Brother E? No, yeah.
Brother Lo, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you for the good sharing Dharma talk. Well, now COVID time, as a grandfather, I'm a Grab driver, delivery man. Because I think all this will be temporary only. It won't. So we have to live on, carry on, accept it. And yeah, it's a good thing that we learn a lot from this COVID also Be more metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha also We feel for other people. Yeah, we try to help. So now my job is to buy food for the family, to go to the market, spend some money, help the hawkers and all this. So I think life will be better soon. But there is opportunity also to make money. If you can invest in some, maybe good share, unit trust.
Yang itu lobanya.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Brother, do you still need to make money? I thought you had enough.
Well, I'm keeping the money for our new building.
Sadhu, Brother Lo.
Very good.
Brother, you wanted to say something just now?
Yeah, thank you, Brother Merlin. It's a very good sharing. I think you have changed the orthodox, the very old way of presenting living Dharma into a very new way. I like this idea as well, because always we talk about the user journey, the user experience, right? In marketing context. So you have brought all this process in all the channels, awareness up to realizations. So I would say it's a very good good journey that you have brought this, but very thought of, piece by piece, that you join it together and you link back to the Anita, the Rama teachings. Very good. To me, I like it very much, and especially the sharing is very clear, very precise, and we can translate into actions. Yeah. So the funnel is also very good. So all these are marketing jargons. So very good, very well. Yeah.
Kamsia. Anybody else want to bamboo?
So by today, we also have to change, to accept change. Dharma talk will be like that.
Just to share with us, our group here is relatively on the senior age. I've been sharing mostly with young people. Young people, they cannot sit down and listen to you. In their mind is, what's in it for me? What can I can learn this Dharma, but Dharma is for what? What will it do for me? That's where I come from. And then a lot of youngsters, they want to say, okay, share one idea with me. I can put it out into my life and then I change my life a little bit here and there. That's as far as I go. I'm not trying to be another bhikkhu sharing Dharma as per very highly educated. That's why I say, Upekkha as taught by, not taught by. The Buddha did harbor these thoughts of Upekkha in his days, but then his Upekkha was shared to us, taught to us through the generations by hearsay. People, one sifu after another, bring it down. So whether Buddha did teach Upekkha in the same format that we know of it today is another story. But I subscribe to Siddhartha Gautama's book, Brahma Vihara, and I understand it. I try to appreciate his teachings and I try to apply it into my life. I face challenges myself. I move on. But holding to these principles in life, we learn to move along. Anybody else want to share anything?
Yes. Do we have any more opinions?
Yeah, I see
or
an
sharing?
iPhone, no face, and then I see a Meili, also no face.
Wow, Sister Meili?
Yeah.
Sister Meili.
Do you want to share anything?
Sister Meili is not in.
No, she's here.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I didn't realize I didn't on my phone also, I mean my video. Nothing much. All I can say is that I don't know, this COVID has made myself very
self-centered.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I'm a very introvert person, so I like being alone, like being confined, like being locked down.
Oh my dear, until today only I know. Oh dear, until today only I know.
Yeah, so I actually enjoyed this moment.
Leave me alone. No wonder I went to your house that time. The in front there, is it? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Oh, Brother Merlin, I forgot to ask one question, sir.
Yes.
Now, in the news, I think I heard it from the news, Chinese news. There's a statement coming out. Be unkind to be kind. You know, it all started like the food bank in the petrol station. There's a group of people hiding at the side. The minute people's car come, put the thing in the food in the shelf. All these batch of people will come and wall up everything out. You know, so so they say that be unkind to be kind. That means you know, they say like that lah, you know, so that, you know, you don't and then these people take wall out everything, ready go to kedai runcit and sell.
Okay.
So what do you think about this statement, be unkind to be kind?
It's a misnomer. You cannot be unkind to be kind. On my side, from my side, coming from the learning about Brahma Vihara, our motivations can be either the dukkha, the great hatred delusion, or our motivations can come from Brahma Vihara. I would prefer to anchor myself in Brahma Vihara. You want to be kind, compassionate, but are you really being compassionate? A lot of people are compassionate. They have compassion, but not many people are compassionate. Compassionate people has got wisdom in doing compassionate action. but a lot of people just have compassion. Totally different. People do something generous, I want to follow, do, and then some of them also do because of the crowd. Remember the first video of the crowd? Everybody clapping. Then when it is the right thing to do for the moment, everybody do the same thing. But are you being mindful? That's where Upekkha comes in. You have to have inner happiness to do that. Once you have done that, if people abuse our kindness, it's up to them, not us. This one I learned from one of the teachers long ago. I forgot his name already. A visiting monk who came along, he says, do good is you. Do bad is them. But if you notice that they have been abusing our goodness, our kindness, you change. That's where your wisdom comes in. That's where your Upekkha comes in. Where your Upekkha comes from your action, not from the. Whatever you do, there will be people who want to come in and say, hey, you did wrong, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. Even this Dharma sharing in the format that I do, there will be bound to be brothers and sisters who will say, hey, this is not Dharma sharing. You say, show many videos. I say, videos touch hearts. Video has approached you with voice, color, movement, music, and emotions, where my words cannot. I can draw a lot of imagery with all the words. I can only touch people who are auditory or good with words, but my video can go across a lot of people. That's why I use videos mostly, right? So it's, you can, yeah. I live in Semenye. There's a pasar, the village pasar here. Then there's a Rukun Tetangga cabin there. Every morning we go there, I see people throwing a lot of dog food around the cabin. And there's a lot of dogs who come. Then the RT guy came in and say, you guys you think you are doing good, but you're putting all this dog food in front of my cabin. So are you really being compassionate? So it needs wisdom to be compassionate. I think Hui Hai Fa Si also said the same thing. You have to have compassion. Doesn't matter how people abuse your compassion. But then you have to have wisdom in doing your compassion. This one, I think Suchi is doing quite well. We can do the same. In the end, it's about inner wealth, inner happiness. The word just now by Venerable Punaji was, it's the same state of mind from different angles. Whatever is going on outside does not disturb the mind. Precisely that. And then the farmer, the actor who acted the farmer, he said, I show up and do my best. They'll do. They'll do. Doesn't matter. I don't know whether you agree, but that's my take. Thank you, Sister Fanny.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Merlin. So with that, let me share my screen. With that, I hope you all have gained much wisdom by listening to today's Dharma. To know that we have been conditioned in our whole life, to learn how to find balance in ourselves with changes in life. And don't worry, Brother Merlin, you have certainly touched one heart today, which is my heart. Let me end the recording now.